Canon's entry-level professional camera, the Canon 60 Mark II. Is it even worth buying in 2020? So I've been using the 60 Mark II as my main and only camera for almost 2 years now. And it is still the cheapest full-frame DSLR that Canon makes. But even though this is still the most updated version of the 6D that Canon offers right now, it was made in 2017, so does a 3-year-old camera still hold up? And does it make sense for you to buy it in 2020? So I'm gonna walk through some pros and cons of the 60 Mark II with you, but I'm just gonna straight up say it. This camera is not worth the buy right now. And it's not because the 60 Mark II is a bad camera. I love using it. It takes great photos, it takes pretty good video, it has a flip out screen, it's full frame. But the number one reason why you shouldn't buy this camera is because the Canon EOS RP exists. The EOS RP is essentially a 60 Mark II, but mirrorless and cheaper. So here are the pros for the 60 Mark II. It is still the cheapest full frame DSLR that Canon made. And on top of that, it's the only full frame DSLR that has a flip out screen. So you can see yourself while you're making these videos or tilt it when you're at a low angle, something like that. Because the 5D and the 1DX both don't have any flip out screen. Now, this isn't specific to this camera, but the 60 has great battery life because it's still a DSLR and still has these full-sized big batteries. And another benefit that the 60 Mark II has over the EOS RP, or really any mirrorless camera, is that you still have a much larger lens choice. The Canon EF mount has been around for years, and Canon has one of the best collections of lenses that you can get. Canon's mirrorless cameras use a completely different mount than the DSLRs. And yes, you can use an adapter, but that's one more thing you're gonna have to bring around. So if you're talking just straight native lens support, the Canon 60 wins. The mirrorless cameras haven't been out long enough for Canon to build an extensive collection of lenses. That isn't to say they haven't made some amazing lenses for their mirrorless cameras, but if you want the largest variety of options, then a DSLR is still probably your best bet. So now for the reasons why you shouldn't buy the 60 Mark II. There aren't a lot of them, but they are some good reasons. Like I said, the biggest one is that the EOS RP exists. If Canon didn't release this camera, then the 60 Mark II I would still say the 60 Mark II is a great camera to buy. But because they released what is essentially a mirrorless 60 Mark II, it's full frame, has a flip out screen, records 4K, which the 60 Mark II doesn't, all of that, and it costs less than the 60 Mark II by a couple $100s. And that right there is the main reason this camera doesn't make sense anymore. Because the EOS RP is the same as the 60 Mark II in just about every way, and it's even better in some ways, and it costs less money. You will save money if you buy the EOS RP over the 60 Mark II. That being said, the 60 Mark II still has some advantages. For example, if you have large hands or you just prefer a larger camera body, then a DSLR is still a better option for you. A problem with making mirrorless cameras so small and compact is all the buttons are a lot closer together and it's not as good of a firm grip in your hand. So even though it weighs less and you can fit it in a smaller bag, a mirrorless camera might get more tiring for your hands to hold for a long period of time because you don't have like that big kind of ergonomic grip that the DSLRs have. Another benefit to having a DSLR over a mirrorless camera is, like I said before, the battery life is much better. If battery life is one of the most important features for you, then a DSLR still might be a better option. Now you can combat this by just bringing around 1 million batteries with you, but these LP E6 batteries, they last forever. But despite the good things that DSLRs still offer, mirrorless cameras are slowly becoming better and better as they become more of a common technology. And I don't think it's going to be very long before mirrorless cameras just completely replace DSLRs and DSLRs become dinosaurs. So if you want an all-in-one, good at photography, good at video, has a flip out screen so you can vlog, is nice and compact, then the EOS RP is going to be the perfect camera for you. Now, just a disclaimer, I'm saying this having never used the EOS RP, so don't take my word too seriously. But if I was in the market for a camera right now, and my budget was around that, like 1200 USD range, then I would 100% choose the EOS RP over the 60 Mark II. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on this topic. I do still love my 6D Mark II. It does pretty much everything I want it to. I wish it had a few more video features like a headphone jack and C-Log and things like that. But at the end of the day, it still records some pretty great video, takes some great photos. And even though I'm saying I probably wouldn't buy this camera now that I already have it, I plan on using it for a long time. But yeah, my conclusion is that unless you are a very specific person who really just needs a much bigger, chunkier camera with better battery life, the 6D Mark II just isn't worth it anymore. If you want the 6D Mark II or something similar of this quality for a similar price, just get the EOS RP. It's going to be pretty much the same in every way and better in others. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more, you can smash that subscribe button. You don't have to smash it, you can just lightly tap it if you want. My social media links and links to all of my equipment are in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.